Today we're answering the question, is it worth it to get certification and is it worth it to get your MBA as a business analyst? The answer to that is yes in most cases, unless you're happy with where you are in your career and you have no desire to move up. But if you do have a desire to move up, getting certified and getting an MBA can benefit you in a number of ways. First, let's talk about certification. Getting certification, the number one benefit or benefits of getting certification is that new knowledge that you have, right? You know, when you're working in a company, you tend to focus on how business analysis is done in that company, whereas getting certification forces you to take in information on how all business analysts all business analysts are being successful across all industries, right? So you're learning different techniques that you may not have ever heard of before. You're learning about different competencies that a business analyst should have, et cetera, and so forth. Different processes that maybe business analysts go through that maybe your company doesn't do. So then you are better equipped than a business analyst who just came through your company because you know all of that is out there. Does that make you good at it? No, it does not. But it makes you aware of all the different things that you should and could be good at to enhance your ability as a business analyst. On top of that, in terms of interviewing and things like that, getting your certification forces you to really learn the different terminologies and syntaxes and all that of the BA lingo. So once you know that, you can more easily communicate with other BAs, you can more easily communicate with interviewers, and you'll just sound more impressive, right? Now, what about that MBA? Should you get an MBA as a business analyst? And I say, again, it depends on where you want your career to go. If you're already a business analyst and you're doing pretty well, you don't need an MBA. Most of the BAs I work with don't have MBAs or certifications. I have gotten my certification, and I don't have an MBA, but I've met and worked with people with MBAs. And the primary benefit of getting an MBA, or why people get an MBA, is to get that full breadth knowledge of how a business works. You know, for myself, for example, most of my work has been with marketing and sales, right? So, you know, that's kind of where I've grown up and kind of the areas where I'm most knowledgeable now as a business analyst. However, I'm completely blind to the HR stuff, the legal stuff, the accounting stuff, things like that, things that aren't really within my scope of work, right? So by going and getting that MBA, you're getting a more in-depth knowledge of all those different areas, which puts you in a better place to be a leader within an IT organization, to make decisions that will affect all the different areas that maybe your IT organization might be responsible for. So an MBA gears you and mentally prepares you with the right knowledge to be that higher level, whether it's a director level, CIO level, or maybe like an enterprise architect whose primary function is to see everything that a business is doing, and make decisions for the entirety of the business, not for a line of business, but for the whole organization, that makes sense for all the different things at the bottom, right? So you don't want somebody who knows nothing about how HR and legal works to be making those types of decisions, because they're not going to take those things into consideration. So by getting that MBA, it forces you to see the big picture, see all the different pieces involved, see how the business is working and making decisions, so you could make decisions that will most benefit your IT organization. So in conclusion, should you get certified? Should you get an MBA? I say yes, but there are other options other than just business analysis certification or an MBA. I highly recommend the certification because it'll give you knowledge on all the different things. However, once you know all those things, you'll realize that MBA is not the only way to go in terms of enhancing yourself, right? By maybe getting a degree in communication or psychology or user experience design, which is what I'm doing. It'll enhance your abilities as a business analyst because it's going to help you work on those smaller sub-level skills that all come together that make you a better business analyst. For example, a business analyst who's not good at facilitating meetings is not going to be as effective as a business analyst who is really great at getting good, solid information out of a meeting. Likewise, a business analyst who isn't a good visual communicator or a written communicator won't be as good and won't have as effective documentation as a business analyst who maybe has studied information architecture and really knows how to put things together to make it most useful for other people's consumption. So, at the end of the day, any education you get to make you better is going to enhance your skills as a business analyst, and it's really up to you, the value that you'll get out of it and where you want to be, as your career progresses.